Okay, so this episode I'm going to try and teach you a little bit about how to maintain your hands, forearms, elbows, and upper arms. So we can get lots of problems on that when we've been doing too much on the computer, when we've been sitting badly, been doing too much on the phone, getting text done. Not that we'd be doing that, of course, but all of those kind of things can play havoc with your hands, your forearms, and your upper arms. So this is really all about manual therapy. There's only one little thing I'm going to show you where you actually need a bit of equipment, or you can get a bit of equipment if you want it. But really, this is all about just getting your thumbs into your own body and trying to get it fixed. Okay, so without much hesitation, let's get cracking on this. So I have to do this myself a lot because I'm a chiropractor, so my thumbs get a lot of use because I'm really getting into people's muscles, and so my poor hands do get a bit of a beating. So if you take my hand, if I make my fingers and forearm go stiff, you can see my fingers just don't move very smoothly, whereas as soon as I relax my forearm, my fingers are much more smooth. Because there's very, very little musculature in the hand. Most of it is in your forearm. And so a lot of hand pain and hand discomfort and hand tension is actually forearm mediated. So what I've found is that if you treat the forearm, you can get a huge amount of relief into the hand. I've actually seen a lot of people who've had some pretty unpleasant pains in their hands find the complete resolution just by treating their own forearm really, really regularly. So the key to this is about regularly doing something to get rid of an issue. Okay, so let's tell you how to do it. So your RSI kind of pain, your tennis elbow, you can do the same for golfer's elbow, which is on the inside, but your tennis elbow is on the outside. Relatively easy to fix in the vast majority of people. If you get your middle finger and put it on the knobbly bit there, your first finger then will lie naturally where the muscles are, and your thumb where the second group of muscles are. So that will tell you where the muscles are you're going to treat. And then what I suggest is if you're a shower person, do it in the shower. If you're a bath, do it in the bath. Because with a bit of moisture on the skin or a bit of soap on the skin, you can just slide really nicely. Whereas if you're doing it rough like I'm going to do it now, especially with our hands, the amount of washing them at the moment, you're going to end up possibly making your knuckles sore or making your forearms sore. Okay, but what you're going to do is literally you can have a soft squidgy ball in this hand, squeeze that ball and get your knuckles in there. You can see what I'm doing is I'm unfurling my knuckles. I don't just push, I unfurl my hand. I don't know why it helps, but I just find it so much more effective just to do this. Okay, and just get in there. And you can see I'm giving myself a little bit of a red rash on my forearm, but that's because I'm really working through these muscles. Incredibly effective, just so helpful just to get that forearm moving. And if you find a bit like when we've done the legs, where I get stuck, then what you just do is just get in there and try and work through that little bit more than you normally would, okay? Don't go at it for hours and hours and hours. Just do even a minute or two, probably just a minute's enough to be honest, in the shower. Do both arms because obviously you're using the other arm to do the first arm. So always do both. Again, just squeeze something and do like that, sponge or something, whatever. And that just releases a lot of tension. Now, for me, if I now do this with my hands, this one feels really light and loose. This one feels quite stuck and heavy. But I've done a lot more work just on this hand. So it's quite telltale for me that this is a lot lighter from having done that. Okay, so second thing is sometimes you get discomfort in here, and a lot of the time it's because tennis players get it a lot from where you're kind of coming through your racket, and squash players as well, badminton with the little flicks, all that kind of stuff. I see a lot of carpenters get it from using the hammer, but it's rotation. So what you can do is literally just put your thumb there, you can see right in the middle of the forearm, and literally just twist your arm. Now, again, if it feels like nervy electric pain going down your forearm, stop, don't do it. But if it doesn't feel like that, just doing this little rotation can be quite effective for getting in there. So that's a good one to do for that, okay? So, hands. Thumb is the big one here, okay? You see a lot of pain in this bit, thenar eminence on people. Now, what I suggest for me, because I have to do this a lot because my thumbs get an awful lot of use, if I make a point with that knuckle and I push it into my hand, for some reason that's a real struggle to find the spot. Whereas if I make that point static and push my thumb against the point, I can be a lot more accurate, and that really is quite uncomfortable, but I also know just the benefit of doing this. And just wait till it fades off, and again, just hit, oh, that's a nasty one. So just gonna wait until that one fades off. But I do this for myself relatively regularly, but like I say, my hands get an awful lot of abuse given my day job. Okay, but that's really, really effective, just getting into that thing. I tend to suggest you've got 4 points. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, you don't really have 4 points, but for most people, 1, 2, 3, 4 will get most of that muscle sorted. The other one, and this is quite useful for people who get headaches as well. This is an acupuncture point that we use for headaches. Is this web in between the thumb and the first finger. Okay. Now, the way I suggest that you treat this is if you clap your hands together, like you're doing that, then your thumbs automatically grab either side of that. Now you're trying to pinch like this, not flat, because you won't do anything. You've got to get pinch grip and just get in there. You'll see that's soft. Okay, and then suddenly I can start to feel, as I come backwards up my thumb, I start to feel there's a muscle underneath there. And then as soon as I squeeze that muscle, yeah, if it's sore, you'll really know about it again. Okay, but you can see I'm doing this to myself. I wouldn't ask you to do something I wouldn't do to myself. Okay, and I know the benefit of doing this because this is just pure trigger point therapy. This is really, really effective stuff for trying to get your thumb moving. And just again, just come through here, squeeze and push, and then what you'll find is you just get these little points whereby you can get right in there. And that's sending pain right down both fingers, but in a way that doesn't feel electric-y or nervy, but just very much feels like I'm doing something that I need to be doing. And back up there, that's the little point. Okay, so that's that. Obviously do both hands. Hand feels lovely. Okay, so do both hands, but do both sides. Especially if you're out in the garden doing a lot of pruning with your secateurs. This thumb is a massive one for that. So get in there, be proactive on this, and then it prevents you from getting issues and then going, I can't go and get treated. How am I going to overcome this? Do it now before the problem comes. Keep it at bay. Okay. So the last little bit I use, I've had this one. Oh, blimey, this one's about 20 years old of mine. So it makes quite a lot of noise compared to most of the new ones. It's called a power ball. I'm sure there are other ones out there. I only know the power ball because it's the one I've used for donkey's years. I used to be a climber and I'm a guitarist. So like as a climber, I really want to have strong hands, same with the guitar. And so having that power in my hands is really important to me and always has been. So what it is, it's a little gyroscope, okay? I've got a little ripcord start one. Some of the modern ones, I've got an auto start, whereby you pull them back along yourself and let it go and it spins itself up, a bit like the plastic cars you have as a kid. Anyway, I'll try and show you how to do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip the cord, and you might be able to hear. When they're new, they make less noise than this. And you'll hear the rotor gets faster and faster and faster and faster. Okay, so now I'm in position. You can see I'm doing circles with my hand. I'm trying to show you from different angles. Okay, you can also do forward and back, but the circles are more effective. But by gripping hold of the ball and just keeping that nice and quiet, apart from the sound of the rotor, you're not getting that scratching sound. What this does is it exercises all the muscles in your hand and forearm almost better, and you can rotate the other direction, so you can say I'm not as good as this direction, and then go back that direction, then go back that direction. Okay, I won't show you my left hand because that would be terrible. Okay, but if you just keep that going, it's incredibly effective at getting the whole forearm moving, and it's all exercise, so you can feel the burn really fast, and that's a really good way to rehab and strengthen your arm. Massively beneficial bit of kit. I think they start at 25 quid, they go up to about 90, whereas you start to buy the Titans. I don't think you need to go that high unless you are a bodybuilder and super strong. Most people can go for the 250 hertz ones, and they're brilliant. Okay, but that's a great bit of kit. It's called a power ball.